Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and this is another one of our coding exercise videos. Just going to show you cool features in coding. Still doing JavaScript. And what I want to talk about here, this is actually a feature that's pretty much in all programming languages for the most part, as I'm aware, and it's called the ternary operator. Because let's talk about like how you would normally have to do an if statement. Normally I'd have to be like, let's say there's a variable called we'll call it the switch, and we're going to say it equals true. Okay, and I'll just call it let, because we may want to switch that switch. Okay, and actually maybe bring up my console into this exercise. Well, no, that's too many terminals. So let's just get rid of some of these. Okay, gotta get rid of these servers. Yes, and that one's still going. Cool. So let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. And then let's come down to this one. This way, we can try it out. CD. Paste. Cool. Now let the switch equal true. And then what I would have to do is I would go. And actually, let's say there's a variable called result. Actually, I don't even need to do that there. Yeah, let's say let result equal, or we'll just say let result. Yeah, we'll just say let result equal undefined right now. Okay, now if the switch, now I only have to put the variable name in there, because basically whatever you put in there is going to ask itself, is it true? Or is it true? Is it truthy or falsy, as some will say it? Meaning, it may be, it's more on the false side versus more on the truth side. And basically, what it's going to do is going to take a look at the variable, the switch, and see if it has a truthy value. In this case, the switch equals true, so it's obviously true. But another important thing to remember is what is going to be evaluated as true if it's not true or false. And basically, the easiest way to remember is remember everything is true. So basically, if the switch equal to 1, it would be true. It would just automatically assume true. The things that are treated as false are 0, the word false, null, I think undefined. I always get confused on exactly all the falsy things. Undefined, and I think that might be the main ones that are falsy. So 0, false, null, undefined. Okay, so if I say the switch, it's going to pick up on that it is true, and then it's going to do whatever I want it to do. So I'm going to say I want the result to equal 5. Okay, and then if I want something else to happen, if it's not true, I would do an else statement. And I would say if result equals 5, else result equals 3. But that's a lot of typing for that simple thing. And this is where the ternary operator comes in. So let's make another switch. Let the switch 2, so this is our second switch. And then actually let me console log the result of the first one, so we can see the result. Console.log result. Okay, getting lazy about my semicolons, which always comes back and bites me when I go back to PHP. Okay, let's the switch 2 equal true. Actually, let's make it equal null. We'll test the truthiness. Actually, we'll test the truthiness of undefined. I'm curious, is undefined actually falsy? We'll find out. I'm pretty sure null, 0, and false are. Okay, let result equal undefined, which we're not going to test that, so it doesn't matter that it's undefined. Okay, now the way the ternary operator works is I'll say like result equals oh, actually I don't even have to do that. Result, actually yes, result equals the switch 2. So I'm saying the switch 2 is going to be my test, and then I put the question mark. So what that's saying is if the variable before the question mark is true, then something happens. Okay, and this only works really for like very simple if-elses. Okay, if you're doing really complex expressions with complex results, this becomes a little bit more harder to do because you really need to do it on one line. Okay, so if the switch is true, or the switch 2 is true, then I want result to equal 5. If it is not true, so I put the colon to separate the results. If it's not true, I want it to equal 3. Okay, so essentially the parts of the ternary is the test, which is the switch, then the question mark, which means, hey, check it, and then the first thing afterwards is the result if it's true, and the thing after the colon is the result after it's false. So let's console log to make sure that that's all fine and dandy. Okay, console log the result. So we'll find out if undefined is truthy or falsy. Let me just take a quick look for any syntax errors. I think we're good. Let's save it. And let's do node. And this is called Ternary. Oh, I see it. Let me go move this into the folder below. There we go. Node Ternary. Oh, of course, let result undefined. Identifier result has been declared. Oh, result 2. That's the problem. There's always something. Thank you, errors, for keeping me honest. There we go. Okay, so first one was 5 because the switch was true. And the second one is 3 because undefined is considered falsy. Okay? 3. And you can actually test specifically if something is defined. Like there's operators for that, but I'm not going to get into that here. Okay, mainly here we're talking about the ternary operator. But that's pretty cool. Now, let's do something let's try something a little bit more crazy. Let's create 2 objects. Object 1 equals value. I want to see if, I'm not 100% sure this will work, but I want to try it out, see if it does. So we have a value of 5, a property of 5. Then we're going to have an object of 2, which equals value. It's all part of my adventures in object destructuring. Since I've discovered it, I've just been so fascinated about what are the possibilities. Value 3. Okay, so basically we have 2 objects. Okay, and now what I want is, so we'll use the same thing. So we'll just say let result 3. Actually, no. Let value, because I want to destructure the object. Let value equal the switch to, it's going to be our test again, and if it is true, it's going to pull from object 1, and if it's false, it'll pull from object 2. So this works the way that I intended to, which is not certain because I've never tried this before. This is object destructuring. So what it's going to do is it's saying, hey, I'm going to create a variable called value. It's going to look in an object and look for a property named value and take its value. Okay, I probably should have called it something else so I'm not saying value so much. So if it's true, it's going to look inside object 1 and capture the value of value. And if it's false, it's going to look in object 2, which I should probably write object 2, and look to see if value is, take the value of value, which would be 3. So we know that the switch 2 is false because we did it in the previous exercise. So this should end up being 3. So let's console.log value and see if that does the trick. Okay. And it works. Okay, so I can use a ternary operator in object destructuring, which is really cool because this could be really useful, especially like you're talking about like a video game where you may have a bunch of different objects for different characters with different stats. You need to pull a particular stat, but you don't know which, but you know it's conditional on which characters you're pulling the stat from. So then you can just set up this type of structure, and it's just constantly pulling the right, making this variable, we'll say strength, equal the strength of the character who's currently in play, or something like that. So you can kind of think of interesting uses for that, and it's a really elegant, short way of doing so. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, So that's a nice little crash course in the ternary operator and revisiting object destructuring. So I'll see you guys later on. Have a great day and enjoy.